Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I am Mike, and fall is in the air. It is getting crispy outside. The pumpkin patches are opening up. We're getting close to Halloween. It's happening. So it's just so nice to have an actual Halloween update to speak about. Now, it's small, and I've said that before. Not perverts. It's a small update. I'm not going to lie to you. It's been 20 minutes blowing smoke up your butt cheeks. And then at the end being like, I don't actually have an update. It's a small update, but it awoken something in my brain, in my heart, and in my crotch. That last part's none of your business, pal. That really got me thinking this could be the future of Halloween. So without further ado, let's get into it. Hey, anything that happens Halloween-wise is going to be covered on this channel. Updates, reviews, all of it. Halloween Horror Month's coming up. We go fucking hard. It's a Halloween atmosphere injected into your fucking veins, Steve. So if you haven't done that, please click the bell and subscribe. You're going to want to be here for that. We got a lot of fun stuff planned. Anyways, on to the update. I'll shut the fuck up and get into it because you got shit to do. So a bunch of people have been sending me this on Twitter and whatnot, and I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, it's just another way for the franchise to just pump some money out of some random products and merchandise and stuff around the Halloween season because they know we'll buy it because we're consumerist whores, the lot of us. And it's true, we do. And I don't judge you because I do it as well. So much of my money goes to pumpkin spice flavored shit. It is actually a problem. But no, I took a deeper look, and this is actually really cool. It's by the website Printed in Blood, and they also did a really cool Halloween book a while back. They're putting out another book right now that's available for pre-order. It comes out in January, but the difference is that this is a reprint of the original Halloween novelization. And why that's important is because, for one, it's very expensive and hard to find. You can find the text pretty easily online, but to actually get the book, it's very expensive. But Curtis Richards' original novelization of the Halloween movie has a swath of differences and some really important ones, which we're going to get into in the latter part of the video. But anyways, here's the cover of it. It looks dope as shit. I mean, it's beautiful. They have multiple different covers. You can tell that the art's going to be amazing on it. And the art's done by Orlando Aracena, who's going to be at the upcoming huge Halloween thing that's happening in Pasadena for the anniversary or whatever. So they're going to be there signing. This is one of the first things that we've seen come out of it as far as new products that are coming out of this anniversary of this big convention and stuff, of which we hope there's going to be some Halloween announcements, possibly, maybe, who knows? I don't know. How's your mother? Good. Tired from fucking my father. It's been fully illustrated. Over 100 brand new illustrations created just for this by Orlando Aracena. It's 224 pages bursting with both classic and gorgeous artistic versions of the John Carpenter horror classic. I don't know why in my head I'm reading this like Wild Bill from Hills, like produced under license with Compass International Pictures and a full cooperation of the original author. Now, for one, this is pretty cool. This is already way different from your typical Halloween retread merch. I mean, it's not like, hey, we got Friday the 13th on DVD. It's just a different, shittier cover with all the same stuff, maybe even less in the extra special features. Let's put a steelbook on that bitch and throw it out there for $30 during spooky season. People are going to eat it up. This is a little bit different. This is actually really cool. It's something new that the franchise hasn't gotten before. But here's what it got me thinking. It got me thinking about that original Curtis Richards novel and all the differences in it. And this is a perfect place for them to jump off, possibly, into the future of the franchise for Halloween. Now, there's multiple different things that they could go. We've all talked about them. We've did a video about all of our ideas for what the Halloween franchise could do next. This is one of them. If nobody wants to see a standard remake of Halloween, for sure. But if you went back and you made a remake of the movie, but kind of a prequel-ish remake, sort of what they're doing with Crystal Lake, you know, the TV show. It's a pre-re-sequel. If they went back and they used this original novelization, they made a movie based on this book, then they could do some really cool things. And here's why. First off, they give it a whole prequel. And there's one thing I would say against it is that, yes, it does kind of give Michael an origin story, or the Shape an origin story, which we don't like. We know Rob Zombie did that. But this is different from making him just fried bologna, trailer park trash. I love fried bologna. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you can smell bologna when you watch that opening scene of the Myers family. And don't tell me you can. It might as well as be scratch and sniff. But no, this book starts out way back in Northern Ireland at the dawn of the Celtic fucking race. The story involves a 15-year-old disfigured boy named Enda, and he is in love with the king's daughter. She's in love with somebody else, has a new fiance. He professes his love to her. He is humiliated, and then he brutally murders them on Halloween during this crazy ritual. At which time the tribe murders him and curses his soul to wander the earth forever, re-experiencing the events of that night. And that's kind of what got up in Michael's Oshkosh bagoshes, is that he, as a kid, the idea is that Inda possessed him, his spirit, and he's reliving it. And that maybe is a lineage in his family. I don't know how all that stuff works, but there is moments in the book where he's talking to his grandmother, or his grandmother's talking, and she's talking about how his granddad, he's starting to show the same signs of the craziness that happened to his granddad, hearing voices, things like that, telling him to be mean to people, seeing visions and things like that. And you get a little bit of backstory that his granddad also did some wild shit and murdered some people at a Halloween dance back in the day. So there's all this extra tidbits in this book, all this extra flavor to the origins of Michael Myers that adds some intrigue to it. You know, I mean, if you're one who doesn't want any sort of backstory, and I like that too, like we don't know what it is, that's what makes it so scary, that's great. But I think if you're gonna go back and retell the story from the beginning, doing it this way with a prequel and adding that whole new flavor and stuff to the franchise, to the story, to the lore, would be a very interesting way to go forward. Now, I do think they should change things going forward past that point. I don't want another Laurie Strode. I feel like that's been done to death, but I feel like you could start with that prequel, tell your own story with new characters and things like that, and just tell a brand new story. But this to me would be a great jumping off point, and I think it's interesting that they're doing this now. The fact that they're working with Compass directly on this, and it's such a logical jumping off point for where we are after seeing Michael get turned into spaghetti, that don't touch my spaghetti, that it would make sense to me that they would be like, hey, let's test this out. Let's put this out. Let's see what it looks like. Get a feel for it. It's basically, we're hiring somebody to make a fucking storyboard for us. Let's take a look at how it would play out, how we could do this, how we could push this into other stories. A good writer can take something like this and really create something cool out of it that takes us into depths that Halloween's never been before. Not just a boring retread of Laurie versus Michael and all that. You start here, and the possibilities are endless. And that's just my opinion on it. I know a lot of people feel like the story needs a Laurie Strode. I really don't. I feel like it could be anybody. And that's how I feel about it. But I think that this is, you know, it's purely conjecture at this point. The actual news is the fact that this book's coming out, and that's pretty neat. But I do think that there is the possibility in the future that this could be the next logical step for the Halloween franchise. I'm not ready to say that's what I want yet. There's multiple other things, like we talked about doing it in the 90s and all sorts of stuff, jumping back in with the Jamie Lloyd story, even though I think that's going to be a really hard sell to the average audience. There's tons of stuff they could do. But what do you guys think about the possibility of this? They say, hey, we're going to remake it, but we're going to remake it with a prequel. And then once we get past the original story, we're going to do something brand new with it. That is interesting to me, and it's one of the few ways I would accept just a straight up remake of Halloween. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And also, what are your plans for Halloween? What are you going as? What are your kids going as? Do you have any plan? You going to a party? What are you fucking doing for Halloween? Because I'm excited about it, and I can't fucking wait. It's going to be the best Halloween ever. I can feel it in my bones, share. If you guys have a great fucking day, and we'll see you soon. Halloween never ends. Suck my fucking dick, and I don't really care what Blumhouse fucking says. Put him in a box or suck a fucking cock. You can say he's dead, but we all know he's not. Yeah. So let's go trick-or-treating, let's go fucking drinking, let's all go rent Pumpkinhead on VHS, cause Halloween never ends.